What's something worth paying extra for? Sheets as well. I would always buy cheap shit on Amazon, and during COVID I said fuck it and splurged on Supama cotton percale sheets. The stuff that's even better than Egyptian. Holy Mother of God, it's like sleeping in a hotel bed every night. Always went by this. Paid $3 for a mattress and it was like sleeping on a cloud. Used it for 10 years or so. One day in a warehouse furniture store, my wife and I laid on a $700 foam mattress. For my taste it was more comfortable than any spring mattress. Not sure if they're better or just work for me, but I can never go back. Oh God, not the mattress debate again. I can't seem to find a consensus on what is important, but I do know that you should go to a mattress store to lie on whatever you plan to buy. I lied on every type that has tons of ads on YT, podcasts, etc., and they all felt way too firm for me except the Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Different things feel good for different people. I would also suggest a quality cooling memory foam mattress topper. It was a game changer for me. I can buy a less expensive memory foam mattress, slap that puppy on there, and it feels twice as expensive as it is. I sold mattresses at one point, and looking back on the purchase process before I was trained on it made me so furious. This business is one of the biggest scams on the planet, I think. Go lay on whatever you want, for as long as you want. Go take an hour nap every day for a week if you need to help you decide. Then argue that price down to at least half of what's posted if you are going to a mattress firm or whatever. The salesperson is making commissions off the sale price over the cost to the company. Yes, he wants to make the sale, but if you level with him and say you'll give him $100 if he sells it at cost, you will very likely get the best deal of your life. Also buy a mattress protector. You are gross when you sleep on a crusty sweat sponge for 10 years. I don't care what kind of cooling foam you have, you are going to sweat on it every night. I'd say that research is more important than price though. OEM Chinism is just as bad as eBay Chinism parts. Sometimes eBay contains gold, sometimes it contains shit nuggets, but doing the research is key. I'd also add that the less safety or reliability critical the part is, the less research and quality matters. Side market LEDs, for example, are simple and eBay ones match high performance ones. On the other hand, getting the lowest cost airbags or oil system is probably a bad idea. Agreed. I used to go to the SPCA for low-cost vet services, and while it was safe/clean/trustworthy and I'd still recommend it for those who need low-cost services, it was a bare-bones facility without the funding/margins to provide extra services for comfort. You also had to drop off and pick up at specific times to prevent crowding since they were so busy, which was difficult for people without much work flexibility. I'm now able to pay a premium for my vet and it's completely worth it. They use Feel Away, calming pheromone, for all visits, have tons of wet food options to choose from to keep nervous or energetic cats calm and distracted during visits, offer services like in-home euthanasia and an in-house lab, have tons of early drop-off and late pickup options, and the staff seems less harried. 2 out of my 3 cats have vet anxiety and my current vet is so helpful. Edit, a word. Speed alone is fairly unimportant. as long as it is above say 12 Mbps. Further increase of available bandwidth does not improve experience. What matters is latency. Modern modems and cheap routers are horrendous at maintaining low latency under load, and as a result everything goes to shit when someone on the network is downloading something. Knee-jerk reaction is to try to pay for more bandwidth, but that's not a solution, in spite of what service providers want you to believe. Instead, look for gateway/router that supports SQM, Smart Queue Management. This will get you much better internet experience and save money by not overpaying for bandwidth you can't use and that only indirectly makes things slightly better. For further reading, Google buffer bloat. I've only had a couple of days like that, thankfully. Usually mine last okay all day. I use the Ecoview Oasis 1 days. They are expensive for non-toric lenses, but I have a weird base curve and they fit me best. You're not crazy though. They aren't made with the same level of coatings, hence they are thinner, as 2 weak lenses, so some folks do experience the dry eye side effect. I'm thankful that I can usually go 14 hours or so without trouble. Masks and glasses are a real bitch and I couldn't handle that. Occasionally they get dried out by end of the day, though, and then they are hard to get out. Still worth it, though. Anything that saves you time and effort, whether it is short-term or long-term. I'd rather pay someone to paint my apartment. If I do it myself it will take 3 times longer, it will not be done that well, and I'm going to be freaking tired. If someone does it for me, I can use that time to do anything else. I can go to a restaurant and eat while they do that. I can sit there and work from my computer, and once it is done, I will not be tired and it'll be a better job. There are hundreds of examples. Paying for a taxi instead of a bus, as I'll get there faster. Paying extra for a delivery, as I'll get my things faster. Etc. etc. Great food. Sometimes you get great food cheaply. But sometimes, it's worth splashing out and getting extraordinary food at a higher price. It's about the experience. No matter what food it is. For example, all fried chicken is great. I could probably go to any city and get cheap fried chicken for £3 and it'd be a decent meal. However, last time I went to London, I went to a really nice fried chicken restaurant. Got a nice cocktail, half price for happy hour TBH, and I got a fried chicken main for around £6 to £10. It was the biggest, crispiest, juiciest fried chicken I have ever had. Not too greasy but still delicious. Worth every penny, even though I can find yummy chicken for less elsewhere. A high-quality guitar. I got back into playing guitar over the last few years, and decided to treat myself to a nice guitar. It was my first time buying a guitar since I was a student, so I had a much higher budget. I couldn't believe the difference, in build quality, feel, looks and sound, plus some extra bells and whistles that have only been added to guitars in recent years. It's super comfortable to play, ergonomic, and I can play it for longer than my old guitars. It feels like it just gets out of the way and lets me play. Plus it's incredibly versatile, coil splits and piezo add a lot of options. Helmets. Honestly, after working around ice hockey forever back in college, the amount of parents/adults trying to find discounted and used helmets was crazy. That shit is the only thing between your head and the ground. If you or your kids play any sport, but particularly contact sports, don't cheap out on the helmet part. All the usuals: toilet paper, shoes, pillows, etc. Don't see this a lot though: pizza. How can you mess pizza up, right? Well, there's a lot of places that do. Now, I do know that a lot of people just buy pizza when they are drunk, for a kid's birthday party, etc. Okay, then I get buying 12 pizzas for $40. But, if you are truly wanting to enjoy pizza, spend that extra money for the good local pizzeria. Really good artist quality tempera paint. The crap they sell at Michael's etc. is snot with a little pigment in it. It's criminal to give that to kids who are interested in art. They'll try to paint something and it will barely tint the paper. They'll look at real art and give up. They'll decide they could never be that good when really it's because they have crappy materials. Tires. Bad/old tires are a great danger as they're the only part connecting you to the road. I have Michelins on my daily driver that grip well and do a decent job in the snow for an all season. My last sports car had Continentals that feel like they grip just as well in the wet as in dry. If you live in an area that gets any significant amount of snow, please get some good snow tires, even if your car has AWD. I think union dues fall into this category. For one thing, the dues are almost always a pittance compared to what the union gains in terms of increased salary level. The only reason people perceive this not to be the case is because the effect is market-wide for that niche and, of course, a lot of people are selfish and want workers at other companies to unionize, but not to be union themselves, so they can get the increased wages for free. This is similar to the strategy of non-vaxxers, who want herd immunity but want others to bear any risks which, if they exist, are minuscule compared to those of COVID of the vaccine. Also, a good union brings in due process for the workers. HR is more experienced in firing people than you are at getting fired. If you end up under managerial adversity, chances are your boss has written 20 pips before and knows exactly how to paper a dubious termination. Without a union representative to advocate on your behalf, you're hosed before you even walk in the door. Union workers can still be fired if they deserve it, but a good union gets rid of all the bullshit political firings. No longer can your manager fire you just because he doesn't like you, or because you won't stay late to cover up his mistakes. I don't know why people say they don't want to work at places where it's hard to be fired. Job security, even for those people presumed to be less incompetent, is a good thing. It forces your boss to invest in your career. He can't threaten you, so he has to actually motivate you. Never cheap out on tires. That extra $10 to $20 per tire you're saving by cheaping out might seem like a lot up front, but those cheaper tires will wear faster, be noisier, and in certain cases prematurely fail. I got conned into some cheap tires back 10 years ago. Within 2 years, 3 of them had blown the sidewall off. One happened first, then the other 2 happened in the same week. It was not an alignment issue. I run nothing but Pirelli and Mickey Thompson now. The 10-year warranty appliances, instead of the 5-year warranty ones. The ones that come with the 5-year warranty only have to last 5 years, so they are made with the cheap parts and last 6 years or so. The ones that come with the 10-year warranties have to last those 10 years, so they're made with good quality parts, and they'll often last 15 or 20 years. So you spend 1.5x more, maybe, but it lasts 3 to 4 times as long. So to celebrate me and my so being together 3 years, she took me out to our favorite spare ribs restaurant. She called them explaining the situation and asked them for ideas. They gave us delicious cocktails with fireworks before and made my portion all you can eat. Normally this isn't an option. When I decided to pay the bill, I found out they didn't charge the cocktails and the 2 extra plates I ate. Tip €50 just for the gesture. First time I ever tipped a restaurant that big. The fast pass at theme parks. I remember being at Canada's Wonderland this summer. Their new coaster Leviathan had just opened. My wife, sister, and I rode that thing about 6 times in a half-hour time span. The fast pass lane was an overpass that walked above the regular line, which was about a 90-minute wait. We were getting some envious eyes that day, and it was worth every extra penny. Good booze. Seriously. There's the well items. Then there's the first rung and the common bar brands. I've found payments no more for food. Booze not only tastes better, but I feel better the next day, even in reasonable amounts. Not sure what is so different, but drinking Cuervo feels dirty the same night. Dinking the good stuff isn't risk-free, but I definitely feel better the next day at the same amounts. Good service. I went leaf blower shopping and the place I bought from had the best service. Right from walking into the store till the end. The person helping me had all the answers to my questions and even took me out and showed me how to run it. The other places I looked, the staff seemed like I was bothering them. I may have paid $50 more for the blower and got extra stuff, but I will go back for any lawn-related equipment I need. My grandpa once told me, spend good money on guns, the last thing you need is a jam on the last guy giving you problems. He was a raging drunk and probably killed upwards of 50 people in his life, and he told this to a 5-year-old after explaining why he couldn't vote anymore to the same 5-year-old. So maybe it's not great advice, I don't know, I haven't had to get in any shootouts lately. I genuinely go with a simple rule. If it's going in or on your body, protecting or comforting your body, or something you are genuinely passionate about, it's worth paying extra. Buy your body, read as yours or others. Central air conditioning / heating. My rent went from $1,200 to $1,500, and with the increased power bill to run it, it's closer to $1,600. But having lived on the 4th of 4 floors in the Midwest in a place that could only support a small window unit and had a radiator, it's worth every dime. Mattresses and shoes. For a mattress, try out a lot of different types, do research, and don't skimp out on money for a shitty bed if there is a perfect bed that is affordable. You use it more than almost anything else you'll buy, and a bad mattress can lead to long-lasting problems. A good pillow and nice sheets help too, but the mattress itself will actively change how well or poorly you sleep. As for shoes, just make sure it's comfortable for what you are doing. Gonna hike or run? Test it for that. Need them for work or long periods of standing? Make sure they hold up. And again, don't skimp out. Saving $50 on shoes won't matter in the long run, especially if the more expensive shoe actually holds up longer than the cheap one.